धर्मसदाराधाय गुरुपुत्र परित्रात्रे गुरुपाखण्डकण्डकाय गीतसाराय गीततत्त्वाय गीतगोत्राय धीमहि गूढगुल्फाय गन्धमत्ताय गोजयप्रदाय धीमहि गुणातीताय गुणाधीशाय गुणप्रविशाय धीमहि एकदन्ताय वक्रतुण्डाय गौरीतनयाय धीमहि गजेशानाय भालचन्द्राय श्रीगणेशाय धीमहि एकदन्ताय वक्रतुण्डाय गौरीतनयाय धीमहि गजेशानाय भालचन्द्राय श्रीगणेशाय धीमहि.
Thank you, students. So we are starting this 4th National Pharmacovigilance Week 2024 on a very auspicious day. We know today is Vishwakarma Puja Day. So Vishwakarma Puja ki hardik shubhkamnaएं. We will start by the welcome address by the Dean Naipar Hajipur, Dr. P. Ramalingam, sir.
So very good morning and warm welcome to the dignitaries on the dais and off the dais, participants, faculty, student participants from different institutes and universities, and other pharma fraternities who are in online. And last but not least, dear scholars of Naipar Rajipur, staff, and other organizing committee members, press and media. On behalf of Naipar Rajipur, it's my privilege to extend warm welcome to every one of you who are gathered here for 4th Pharmacovigilance Week celebration 2024, which is to be celebrated from today to till 23rd September 2024. For this inaugural sessions, we are honored to have the presence of the eminent personalities of the pharma fraternity and Sri Uday Shankar, the drugs controller of Bihar State, and Dr. Kalaiselvan, senior principal scientist from Indian Pharmacopoeia Commission, and the registrar is about to join soon, the Naipar Rajipur, and Dr. Samir Dhingra, the head Department of Pharmacy Practice, Naipar Rajipur here. So as mentioned by Dr. Rajani, our director will be joining soon by 11 o'clock, and he has already sent a message to all the participants on behalf. It will be presented in the later session. Of the dais, we are blessed to have Ms. Sri Nityanand Kishle, Deputy Drug Controller, Bihar State, and Senior Drugs Inspector, Dr. Amal Kumar, and he was an alumnus of Naipar Mohali, and other principals and faculty from different colleges and institutes. And so once again, I extend my warm welcome on behalf of Naipar family. Sir, we are aware that this 4th Pharmacovigilance Week is being organized on the theme of the building ADR reporting culture for patient safety, which is a growing concern of health safety by the Indian Pharmacopoeia Commission. So at this context, we are proud to mention that our Naipar Rajipur has been one of the well-recognized center for pharmacovigilance and material vigilance, and we have continued to record significant number of ADR report to Indian Pharmacopoeia Commissions, which is well acknowledged by Indian Pharmacopoeia Commissions. And accordingly, in expanding the activities and in expanding the expertise in the area of pharmacovigilance and material vigilance, the Department of Pharmacy Practice, especially Dr. Samir Dhingra, Dr. Krishnamurthy, and their scholar team, they have planned this one-week pharmacovigilance program at Naipar Ajipur as well as the other areas like hospital and villages with as per the agenda circulated among all. So I believe this event will improve the area reporting culture among the participant and other farmer fraternity and overall attending this event online or offline. With this, I welcome every one of you once again and wish the event to be successful one. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. I request Dean Naipur Hajipur to be there for the felicitation of the guest, along with Dr. Samir Dhingra, sir, Coordinator AMC Naipur Hajipur. Please felicitate our guest for today. Chief guest, Shri Uday Shankar, Bihar State Drugs Controller. Okay. Our guest of honor for today, Dr. V. Kalai Selvan, Senior Principal Scientist, PVPI. Dr. Nityanand Kisle, Deputy Drug Control Government of Bihar. Dr. Amal Kumar, Senior Drug Inspector, Government of Bihar. Thank you, everyone. Please have your seats. Okay. Now I request Shri Uday Shankarji, Bihar State Drugs Controller, to please address the audience today.
Good morning, everyone. First of all, I would like to thank the honorable dignitaries, Dr. P. Ramalingam, Dean, Naipur Hajipur, Dr. V. Kalai Selvan, Senior Principal Scientist, Pharmacovigilance Program of India. I'm sorry if I'm not pronouncing your name correctly. I'm correct? Okay, thank you. And Dr. Samir Dhingra, Coordinator, Naipur Hajipur, and Dr. Abhishek Sahu, I think he's not here now. And all other dignitaries present on the dais and off the dais. I am honored to be the chief guest today and share my thoughts on pharmacovigilance and regulatory compliance in India. As you all know, that the theme for this year National Pharmacovigilance Week is building ADR reporting culture for patient safety. And it is being done to create awareness about increasing reporting of adverse drug reaction as well as enhancing patient safety and avoiding medication errors. Pharmacovigilance, the science of monitoring medication safety, plays a vital role in protecting public health. It is a science to ensure that the benefit risk ratio remains favorable throughout the life cycle of a medicine. That is, from the time it is authorized until it is withdrawn from the market or its production is discontinued. Common side effects include upset stomach, dry mouth, drowsiness. It is considered serious if the result is death, life-threatening, disability, or permanent damage, or during pregnancy cause birth defect. It can happen when you start taking a new drug or a dietary supplement, stop taking a drug that you have been using for a while, increasing or decreasing the dose of a drug that you take. And to counter this, work with your healthcare professionals. Best ways to change your lifestyle and dietary plan. Then you can face that situation. As you all are aware that Indian Pharmacopoeia Commission functions as the National Coordination Center for Pharmacovigilance Program of India. And to address these challenges, India has implemented certain measures which are National Pharmacovigilance Program, Adverse Drug Reaction Monitoring Centers, regulatory amendments, training programs for healthcare professionals, and public awareness campaigns. We have best practices for regulatory compliance, like robust quality management systems, transparency in clinical trials, regular audits and inspections, compliance with global standards, and continuous monitoring and reporting system. India's regulatory framework works on focusing Drugs and Cosmetic Act 1940 and rules framed thereunder in coordination with the CDSCO, Indian Pharmacopoeia Commission, and National Pharmaceutical Pricing Authority, that is NPPA. We are looking for future directions which need strengthening of pharmacovigilance infrastructure, enhancing healthcare professional education, collaborative efforts between industry, regulators, and academia. In addition to this, leveraging technology for ADR reporting and monitoring, and lastly, harmonization with global pharmacovigilance practices. In conclusion, pharmacovigilance and regulatory compliance are crucial for ensuring drug safety and public health in India. Only collective efforts will propel India forward in this critical area. And my best wishes for Naipar Hajipur. All the best. Jai Hind.
Thank you so much, sir. I request our guest of honor, Dr. V. Kalai Selvan, sir, Senior Principal Scientist, PVPI, to please address the audience.
Thank you. Respected dignitaries on the dais, off the dais, esteemed faculty members of Naipar Hajipur as well as other institutions, dear delegates, very good morning and a warm welcome to this very important gathering. So let me thank all the dignitaries on the dais for accepting Naipar Hajipur's invitation to be a part of this gathering. Dr. Director, Professor Dr. Ravichandran, who is unable to join today, but he already conveyed his best wishes. So I am thankful to Dr. Ravichandran for extending, invitation to be a part of this gathering. Esteemed guest, Dr. Uday Shankar, who is the State Drug Controller, who is playing a very important role in implementation of pharmacovigilance and material vigilance as a state regulator. Dr. Ramalingam, Dean, Naipar Hajipur. Dr. Samir, Dr. Krishnamurthy, all other delegates. I may not able to name everybody, but of course, everyone who have contributed significantly for this event. Actually, we are celebrating 4th National Pharmacovigilance Week. This is very important event approved by the Ministry of Health, Government of India, to celebrate a dedicated 1 week pharmacovigilance week to sensitize the concept of pharmacovigilance and materiovigilance, hemovigilance, and other safety surveillance program among the public as well as stakeholders. So this year the concept or the theme of National Pharmacovigilance Week is to create the culture of reporting. First, we need to start reporting. So many years we have passed. We have a robust system of pharmacovigilance. The capacity of pharmacovigilance is at par with the international standards we have. But still, the culture of reporting, the reporting part is still it is a problem. The culture needs to be created. The culture among the stakeholders, culture among the pharmacists or the doctors, or even consumers, the awareness about reporting of adverse events needs to be created. This is one thing. We have a complete capacity, full capacity to analyze the adverse events. We have a tools, reporting tools, how we are going to analyze the data. All tools we have, all system is established. Capacity, our system is at par with international standards. But the continuous problem or continuous challenge is reporting. It needs to be continued, and also the quality of reporting also should be improved. So this is what the purpose of celebrating or observing a National Pharmacovigilance Week. We have to convey among the stakeholders about the reporting. See, once the reporting is there, we have sufficient data. Now, what is the use of data? How this data is going to be utilized? You may ask, what is the use of my report? If I report from Naipar Hajipur or Bihar, what is the use of my adverse events data? Yes, it is useful. Every report is meaningful, useful. It may not go to the regulator for decision-making process, but each and every report, your report is countable. It comes into the national database. It goes to the societal benefit. Only the report which is related to medicine, some kind of regulatory intervention is required, then those data goes to the regulator for appropriate regulatory decision making. So during the past 10 years, since the establishment of pharmacovigilance, there are a lot of molecule or drug specific signal or drug specific safety alerts have been issued or released, India specific in nature, because today currently our regulatory system is completely depending on the pharmacovigilance program of India, which was not happening before the program was launched. Either state regulator or central regulator, they were depending on other countries' data for making any kind of decision. But now, after the launch of pharmacovigilance and now the materiovigilance, the regulatory system is fully self-reliant by referring by using our own indigenous data. So that's why your report is very important. And during the last 10 years, there are a number of examples you might have seen. The regulatory system CDSO issued a notice or issued an alert based on our own data. There are a lot of challenges are also coming up. We need to cope up with international practice or international standards. So I am sure the whole system, as our ADR monitoring center, Sniper, Hajipur also doing a tremendous job in covering the entire region, focusing the safety related issues, whether let it be a medicine or let it be a vaccine or let it be a medical device. So they have established a very good system, and this system is also connected with national level program. So the data utilization, it becomes a very important for us. Data utilization means it may be a signal or it may be a recommendation for change in the package insert, or it may be a pharmacovigilance data sometimes useful for repurposing of medicine, or extremely if you go, sometimes based on the pharmacovigilance data, the medicine or medical device may be recalled or withdrawn from the market. So this becomes the robust challenge, and here we require a lot of innovation and a lot of standards needs to be established, and of course culture of reporting needs to be addressed periodically. It's a continuous process. So I request, I take this opportunity, all fellow colleagues, to disseminate the concept of pharmacovigilance and materiovigilance within your family, within your circle, within your society. And beyond that also, you need to communicate to the mass to address the need. So once again, thank you very much for giving me this opportunity to be a part of this gathering. I wish you all the best. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Now we have a message from our chief patron, Dr. V. Ravichandran, sir, Director, Naipur Hajipur. It will be conveyed to us by Dr. P. Ramalingam, sir.
So once again, I'm here to convey the message from the director, Dr. V. Ravichandran. I just read out what he has been sent in the script form. Dear participant, it's my pleasure to welcome you to the 4th National Pharmacovigilance Week at Naipur Rajapur. As a premier institute, we are committed to excellence in pharmaceutical education research, offering M.Pharm, MS.Pharm, and PhD program. Since 2007, Naipur Rajapur has consistently demonstrated remarkable growth and earning the 33rd rank in NIRF ranking 2024, which among top 50 pharmacy institutions in India. Notably, we have been recognized as a top performing adverse drug reaction and adverse event monitoring center by the Indian Pharmacopoeia Commission under PVPI and MVPI program. Our research focus encompasses innovative areas, including affordable medicine, tuberculosis eradication, novel therapies for tropical and rare diseases, biosimilars, biotherapeutics, and organoids. Our mission is to equip students and scholars with a strong foundation and cutting edge knowledge, empowering them to drive progress in pharmaceutical sciences. I firmly believe that each of you possesses immense potential to achieve your goals and make a profound impact in the field. And I extend my best wishes for your personal and professional growth. Jai Hind by Dr. V. Ravichandran, Director, Naipur Rajapur.
Thank you, sir, for conveying the director's message to us. Now I'll request Dr. Sami Dingra, sir, Coordinator, AMC Naipur Hajipur, to please give the vote of thanks for this inaugural ceremony.
So, good morning to everyone present here today. It is my esteemed privilege to extend a heartfelt, vote of thanks on this momentous occasion of the opening ceremony of 4th National Pharmacovigilance Week at Naipur Hajipur. And all the presenters, this day marks a significant milestone in the history of Naipur Hajipur as we gather for the second time in our region to focus on this critical aspect of healthcare. And student community particularly, and other healthcare professionals and my dear colleagues who are present on the dais, all of us, we are aware, pharmacovigilance, it is basically a vital component of ensuring safe medication practices, preventing errors, and reducing harm. As we all know, the real world safety of new drugs and vaccines can only be fully understood after they are used in the wider population. Therefore, it is essential that we continue to monitor and report any adverse effects, no matter how mild they may seem. And on behalf of Naipur Hajipur, I would like to express my deepest gratitude to our chief guest, Shri Uday Shankarji, State Drug Controller, Bihar State, for his presence and invaluable insights. And I also extend my thanks to Dr. V. Selvan, Senior Scientific Research Officer, IPC Ghaziabad, and our other distinguished guests from various pharmacy institutes across the Bihar state. I also recognize Shri Nityanand Kishle, Deputy Drug Controller, as a special guest here being present. and Shri Amal Kumarji, Dr. Amal Kumarji, Senior Drug Inspector working with the regulatory authorities here in Bihar State. And I also observed the silence of our, IPA Bihar State Secretary, Shri Bandhu Padhyay ji here. So on behalf of, Naipar Hajipur, I would like to thank all of you for your collaboration as well as support. And I also appreciate the participation of our 100 delegates who are, and faculty from other institutes who have joined both online as well as offline mode. And I must express my sincere thanks to our director, though physically he could not be present here, and he may join shortly for a moment. He has promised that he may come in between due to some other engagement at NIPER, Kolkata. Professor V. Ravichandran, for his tireless efforts in promoting pharmacovigilance and material-vigilance activities not only within NIPER Hajipur system but also across the region. I also extend my gratitude to our Dean, Dr. P. Ramalingam, and of course our Registrar, Dr. Abhishek Sahu, for their constant support. I also take this opportunity to thank my all other faculty colleagues who have joined here today to help me to organize this event is success, week-long event is success. And I take this opportunity to thank Dr. Shri Arunish Chawla, Secretary, Department of Pharmaceuticals, for his unwavering support and the meticulous development of NIPER Hajipur. And I also extend our sincere gratitude to Professor Samit Bandyopadhyay, Chairman BOG, for his support to NIPER Hajipur. Last but not least, I commend our organizing team, administrative staff, and other respected faculty and non-teaching staff members of the institute for their hard work in making this event a grand success. I also appreciate the efforts of our volunteers and students who have dedicated their time to this week-long event. And I hope that we will continue to collaborate and organize such events in future, striving for the betterment and upliftment of the healthcare profession as well as the patient safety. So thank you once again to all of you. Thank you. Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir. We are closing here ceremonial inaugural process. We'll take a 15 minutes of break, tea break, and after that we will again assemble here for the technical session. Thank you. I request the dignitaries to be seated here. Tea will be served here only.
Hello. Hello. सर 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 सबको हम करना पड़ता है, ये सब लेके जा रहा है, लेकिन बेशक है ये सर ये अपनी तरह से बहुत गलत है। ये हम लोग बोलने लगेंगे तो इनको फोन बुरा लगेगा। अब एब्सोल्युटली रॉन्ग, एब्सोल्युटली रॉन्ग सर। क्या हम क्या बताएंगे सर, रजिस्ट्रार सर नहीं आ रहे हैं, दस के और नहीं आऊँगा, मैं क्या जानता हूँ सर। Participants, please note that the tea is being served outside. You can go and have tea. Thank you.
हेलो हेलो नाइपर हाजीपुर। हेलो
हेलो।
हेलो।
यस सर।
मेरी आवाज क्लियर है ना?
यस सर,
वॉइस
क्लियर
क्लियर
है।
है? ठीक है। ओके।
Ask one more paper is there. What's useless?
I
Dear
request
participants,
everyone to join back in the seminar hall.
so dear participant, so now we have our director, Dr. V. Ravichandran from Naipur, Kolkata. So he'll be addressing through online. So I welcome, sir.
Good morning to all of you. The invited guests for the 4th National Pharmacovigilance Week program, organizing team, faculty members, the registrar, the dean, and the scholars of the institute. I'm really proud to be part of this today event, pharmacovigilance. Basically, our institute is emerged as one of the important center in India in the ADR reporting, pharmacovigilance as well, the material vigilance. You all well aware about that. The pharmacovigilance team is working the wonderful manner to keep the center activity the best level, for which Indian Pharmacovigilance Commission Senior Principal Scientist Dr. Kalai Chilvan is instrumental on this enriching activity of the institute in the pharmacovigilance. By the way, Dr. Samir Dingra, Dr. Krishnamurthy, executing the work in the institute the best level, while the pharmacovigilance center activities also consolidated and addressed here. I wish to say that the Pharmacovigilance Week program, 17th to 23rd September 2024, it is one of a unique activity. It is designed in such a way that keeping all the eminent speakers associated with the program scheduled from the day 1 to day 5. If you understand that all the speakers from this, you could observe that the value and the message what you are going to get from with the next 5 days program. You should see that what is this pharmacovigilance, what it is going to happen. So what the achievements in our country, while the pharmacovigilance is almost the 2 decades, the pharmacovigilance activities happening in India. With the pharmacovigilance, there are several number of activity reported in the ADR. The ADR, initially it was started with the pharmacovigilance, later on material vigilance, again that hemovigilance, again further it is in the aspect of AMR also it is associated. It is a important value in the nationwide as well as in the global scenario. Earlier, it was in the country how it was performing in the pharmacovigilance. Now, currently, it is recognized in the national global level. Our country is accepted in the global market. Pharmacovigilance is one of the serious requirement. The serious requirement by the way of that regulatory aspect as well. The quality of the drug available in the market, available for the users is a very serious concern. With this objective only, the pharmacy practice program was established. Still, there are several challenges are there. You can understand that what is going to happen, what so far it has happened. There are several formulation, or I can say that fixed dose combination, as well as that the individual molecule also withdrawn from the market. The approval of the drugs are withdrawn because of that the pharmacovigilance report, ADR report, it is one of the serious and significant role it is there for the Indian Pharmacovigilance Commission. Still, there are several challenges are there. The challenges under reporting. So while we see that in Bihar, after Naipar, Hajipur, it has taken into a shape and initiated the pharmacovigilance reporting system. It has emerged as one of the major player in the ADR reporting activity with the Indian Pharmacovigilance Commission. By the way that all the region, every individual user, medical practitioner and the public on this, all to be very aware about that pharmacovigilance importance on this, how it improve that the quality of the drug or the therapy and the practice of pharmaceutical in our the system. It is a very serious concern. While we see that it was initially with a few center, I can say that in single digit. Now currently more than that 500 plus center is functioning in our country. Naipar Hajipur is one of the very important center. I can say that center for the reporting system in this region of eastern India, it's doing the best level. Underreporting ADR, it is one of the serious concern. It is a concern highlighted need for continued awareness and education with all the stakeholders are very serious requirement. Monitoring generic drugs as well as that the biosimilar is one of the serious requirement. The challenge in that the safety of the product also it is associated in the biosimilar as well biologicals. So addressing the antimicrobial resistance, it is every day, it is one of the serious requirement for that the pharmacovigilance need to play a critical role to enrich or that to address the objective of the pharmacovigilance activity. Overall, India is playing pharmacovigilance activity in significant manner. I should appreciate and proud to greet the Indian Pharmacovigilance Commission. The role in this pharmacovigilance in this short period, the activity taken into shape for which Dr. Rajiv Raghuvamshi, the director of Indian Pharmacovigilance Commission, has taken such a unique steps for this purpose, for which strengthening the activity and the objective of Indian Pharmacovigilance Commission, Dr. Kalai Chelvan, senior principal scientist role is very significant. I am thankful to the Dr. Kalai Chelvan for his presence and encouraging that our faculty and the scholar for this activity of the fourth Indian pharmacovigilance program of India. It is happening at Naipar Hajipur. So I congratulate all the participants to the awareness, commitment, interest over for participating in this program. So I believe that it will be a useful one for that the next 5 days. You will take that wonderful message and strength for that activities of the pharmacy practice wherever you are associated as a stakeholder. It will be a useful one. With this, the few words, I congratulate the organizing committee, Dr. Samir Dingra and the Dr. Krishnamurthy, the Dean and the Registrar for their efforts for that strengthening this activity. With this, I end with thanks to that all the participants and the speakers associated with this program. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you, sir, for joining us here on the 4th National Pharmacovigilance Week. and addressing us direct from Naipur Hajipur. Thank you, sir. Dr. P. Ramalingam, sir, will say something. We'll start this technical session. So now we'll start our technical session. So today's speaker, Dr. V. Kalai Selvan, who is Senior Principal Scientist PBPI, IPC Ghaziabad. He'll speak on significance of pharmacovigilance in patient safety. I would like to invite Dr. Krishnamurthy sir to introduce him.
Welcome to this National Pharmacovigilance Week celebration. Respected dignitaries, students, staff and faculties, today we have with us Dr. V. Kalai Silvan, Senior Principal Scientific Officer, Indian Pharmacopoeial Commission. He will be delivering a lecture associated with pharmacovigilance. Dr. V. Kalai Silvan has a long experience over the 25 years, and he has contributed in the area of pharmacovigilance, development of Indian pharmacopoeial standards, and medical devices safety. He also demonstrated to establish a robust system of pharmacovigilance program of India, which has been recognized by WHO as a collaborating center. He played a key role in forging partnership with public health programs, Pharmacy Council of India, academic institution, WHO, in enhancing the outreach of IPC services. Besides this, he has also authored 5 books and published 112 research review articles in peer-reviewed journals. He is an expert member in Working Group Vigilance of WHO Southeast Asia Regulator Network. He is responsible for capacity building and strengthening of pharmacovigilance in the Southeast Asia region. He is also the member in other committees, WHO Advisory Committee of Safety of Medicinal Products, FSSAI, Signal Review Panel of AEFI, Bureau of Indian Standards. He is a visiting faculty of Naipur Hajipur as an adjunct professor. So the list is so long, we cannot tell at this point. So overall, I welcome Dr. V. Kalai Silvan sir to come onto the stage and give the presentation. Thank you very much.
Respected Professor Ravichandran sir. Sir, we miss you physically, but we all are really motivated by your speech and sharing your experiences. Thank you very much for your way forward direction to move forward with respect to pharmacovigilance and material vigilance. Thank you very much for inviting me and being a part of today's event. So I'm here to share my own experiences as well as the Indian Pharmacopoeia Commission's experiences with respect to the implementation of both pharmacovigilance and material vigilance. I will address about the recent developments, also some of the developments with respect to medical devices, and overall the progress as well as gap areas in the pharmacovigilance, how as a student or as a healthcare professional, your contribution will be important to further strengthen these programs. So I request, can I have my slides? So basically, today we are celebrating 4th National Pharmacovigilance Week. As Professor Ravichandran sir mentioned, during the next 5 years, we are going to sensitize the concept of pharmacovigilance, material vigilance, and of course, hemovigilance among the public. So actually, Indian Pharmacopoeia Commission is committed to strengthen or establish the pharmacovigilance network pan-India. Actually, we have started from single digit. When Indian Pharmacopoeia Commission took the responsibility as a National Pharmacovigilance Program Coordinating Center, we had just 22 centers. Actually, the program was shifted from All India Institute of Medical Sciences to Indian Pharmacopoeia Commission in 2011. In the year 2011, we have started. The program was running with 22 centers pan India. But currently, we have crossed 1,000 centers, pharmacovigilance alone, besides 500 centers for material vigilance. So we have achieved this during the past 15 years. Less than 15 years, we could able to achieve this. And currently, this is a huge network globally. Even global, there are 170 centers, 70 countries are participating in the WHO program for pharmacovigilance. But this is the highest network among all 170 countries. No country is having this many number of network or regional centers under pharmacovigilance. So India is the only country to have the largest network of ADR monitoring centers, including your neighbor Hajipur is also one of the monitoring center, both pharmacovigilance and material vigilance. So this is a huge network currently we have. Today we have a capacity, strength, and resources. I mean, the concept of pharmacovigilance is percolated to all professionals. Almost every pharmacist and every medical professional or nurses, they are aware of pharmacovigilance. During our period, when we studied BPharm or MPharm, or even at the time of PhD, we were not knowing the pharmacovigilance. But today, the concept, the term pharmacovigilance is aware of everybody. And today we have a structured course for pharmacovigilance. Actually, it's a science. You know very well, pharmacovigilance is a science. It's not only collecting adverse drug reaction or monitoring and reporting. It's a science and activities of many areas. So before moving into the pharmacovigilance, you might be knowing the activities of Indian Pharmacopoeia Commission, because the Indian Pharmacopoeia Commission is directly or indirectly connected with almost all stakeholders. Like if you look at the promoting patient safety, there are 6 important components. When you want to address the patient safety as a pharmacist or as a doctor or as a nurse, patient safety means there are 6 important things, like quality of medicine needs to be addressed. Safety also should be a part of the practice. Rational use, medicines affordability and availability. These all are the areas where we require to concentrate or focus to improve the patient safety. But of course, here, if you look at the many areas are the part of regulatory system, like efficacy. It's a job of responsibility of the regulator to look at the efficacy of a molecule. Medicines affordability and availability also a part of, it's a responsibility of the regulator. In India, CDSU is responsible. But first 3 things like quality. Medicines, every medicine has its own quality or specifications, characteristics. You take paracetamol, it has own specifications. Those who are doing MPharm analysis, you might be knowing very well what are the quality specifications. Starts from the identification, assay. If it is a tablet, you require disintegration, dissolution test. So these are the specifications, quality specifications. And those quality specifications are given by or published by the Indian Pharmacopoeia Commission at regular interval in the form of Indian Pharmacopoeia. So every approved medicine shall have a quality specifications. Those quality specifications should be fulfilled. Whosoever manufacturing, the manufacturer should comply with the Indian Pharmacopoeia specifications or monographs. So this is one of the priority or major mandate of Indian Pharmacopoeia Commission to develop or to publish Indian Pharmacopoeia at regular interval. Why I am sharing with you, there is a linkage between the pharmacovigilance and quality. You might have come across, I think during your reporting, how many of you have reported lack of efficacy or product quality related adverse events? So here you need to link with pharmaceutical chemistry or pharmaceutical analysis, because if it is quality is maintained, there will be around 10 to 15% of the adverse events would have been prevented or reduced. Because if you look at the overall database, around 10% of the adverse events are, sometimes WHO says 30% of the adverse events related to lack of efficacy or product quality related issue. So that is why I'm asking, have you ever reported anything related to product quality or lack of efficacy? Anybody? Have you understood what I am trying to say? The product has no effect. Say, for example, propofol is an general anesthetic medicine. After administering propofol, anesthesia was not induced or not developed. So this kind of adverse events we have come across actually. This is purely related to maybe a product quality related. So the quality is very, very much important to link with pharmacovigilance. Actually, pharmacovigilance is a holistic approach. If product quality is maintained, certainly 10% of the adverse events would have been reduced or prevented. Then safety. Yes, we look after the pharmacovigilance and material vigilance program as a national coordinating center. We are also publishing a guideline called National Formulary of India for as a clinical monograph to promote the rational use of medicines. So rational use also important part of your patient safety. Do you understand the term rational use? Rational use means it's a right medication for right disease, right dose, right route of administration, right time of administration, etc. So this is a rational use. So there are issues like irrational use, adverse events related to irrational use. So there also the holistic approach is to promote the rational use so that some percentage or some kind of adverse events would have been reduced. So overall the message here I am trying to say, the pharmacovigilance means not only improving the reporting, you have to create the culture of reporting. While improving the culture of reporting, you also should look at the preventable ADRs. How we are going to prevent the adverse events to reduce the harm. That is also a part of pharmacovigilance. Right? So this is about the Commission's IPC's role about promoting the patient safety. I thought, it will be a appropriate opportunity to speak about the role of IPC, because the concept is to promote the patient safety. Since many of you might be aware of the pharmacovigilance, some of the B.Pharm students, any B.Pharm students are here? Yeah, very good. So B.Pharm students, are you aware of pharmacovigilance? Only three or four. How many UG post, undergraduates? 1, 2, oh, many. Very good. I think 50% graduates. So it will be nice. It will be very interesting for you to learn about the pharmacovigilance. So, the picture, this is the photograph of the babies or children, those who were affected with the use of thalidomide. थैलिडोमाइड की वजह से ये एडवर्स इवेंट हुई है, रिपोर्ट हुई है. Thalidomide was a medicine that time. It was used as an anti-emetic medication or medicine used to prevent vomiting, and it was prescribed for the pregnant woman to control vomiting. So thalidomides, then later on, the babies were born absence of lymph node or without lymph node, birth defect, some kind of birth defect was reported with the use of thalidomide. Medically, it was known as phocomelia. Phocomelia means birth defect, and it is a serious. It was noted or it was observed as a serious adverse effect with the use of thalidomide. So this was the case, first start of pharmacovigilance. So then the whole community, whole world, WHO and other countries started developing a pharmacovigilance system. No medicine is free from adverse effect. There may be some adverse effect. Those adverse effect might be detected or prevented. So this is the whole story of pharmacovigilance. So it happened in 1960. Then after the thalidomide tragedy in the year 1968, WHO started an international drug monitoring program, pharmacovigilance program for international drug monitoring. And then WHO started inviting all their member countries to participate in the program. So WHO initially initiated. Before WHO, US FDA, they have started their own country-specific pharmacovigilance system for adverse event reporting. But India, country like India, those started late, but we could able to cope up with other developed countries now. So this is the starting point of pharmacovigilance. If you read out the definition, it's a science and activities related to the detection. It's written in the top of the slide. What do you mean by pharmacovigilance? It is not only detecting the adverse event. You have to do the assessment. Assessment means whether really thalidomide caused this adverse event or any other factor. That is called assessment. That is very important and integral part of pharmacovigilance. See, general public can report everything. Even vomiting, nausea, everything they can report. But we as a professional, we as a pharmacovigilance team, to do the assessment. What is the duration of medication gap? When the medicine was administered, when the adverse event happened. What is the duration? Say, for example, a patient from Patna took a paracetamol 2 days ago. Got it? And the same patient, today, the patient is reporting some allergy because of paracetamol. What you will do? Is there any correlation? What is the half-life of paracetamol? कितने घंटे के होता है और कितने दिन का होता है? मैक्सिमम 6 hours. तो ये 2 दिन पहले पैरासिटामोल लिया है, लेकिन आज रिपोर्ट कर रहे हैं वो पेशेंट पैरासिटामोल की वजह से मुझे एलर्जी हो रहा है. ये रिपोर्ट आप ले सकते हो, बट असेसमेंट करोगे ना, इट इज नॉट रिलेटेड टू पैरासिटामोल. दिस इज व्हाट द असेसमेंट. जो कॉमन मैन और जनरल पब्लिक एवरीथिंग दे विल रिपोर्ट, बट वी नीड टू डू द असेसमेंट. What is the relationship, duration, pharmacokinetic profile of a medicine, half-life of a medicine? Then you decide it is related to medicine or not. That is what the assessment. And you need to understand, and prevention, that is what I told you, prevention of adverse event. There I linked with quality, lack of efficacy or product quality. And some of the adverse events are preventable in nature, where medicine A should not be given with medicine B. There might be some drug interaction, so you would have avoided easily. So that is why the prevention also a part of pharmacovigilance. And last line, if you read it out, other drug related problems. Now the pharmacovigilance scope also expanded to other drug related problems such as product quality related, lack of efficacy, also to be reported as an adverse events under the pharmacovigilance. So this is what the scope of pharmacovigilance. So tomorrow, after completing your undergraduate or postgraduate or doctorate, you may be a part of pharmacovigilance team in the industry or hospital, but you should know the entire complete practice. It is not only collecting the adverse event and reporting to authority. It is not so. It is also assessment is also a part. You have to do the risk-based assessment and also preventive strategy. How you are going to prevent or minimize the risk associated with the medicine. Correct? So this is how generally the pharmacovigilance practice actually as of now. And since most of the UG students are here, so I thought of this information will be very useful, but it's a very basic and it's a starting point for pharmacovigilance. Like thalidomide, Even every medicine has got its own benefits and risk. Can you name any medicine without adverse effect or side effect? Anybody? Paracetamol? वेरी गुड. वही मैं पूछ रहा हूँ, पैरासिटामोल के साथ भी होता है, एडवर्स इफेक्ट होता है. मैं पूछ रहा हूँ कोई भी मेडिसिन एडवर्स इफेक्ट से फ्री है क्या? नहीं ना. नो मेडिसिन इज फ्री फ्रॉम. वेरी गुड, प्लीज बी सीटेड. नो मेडिसिन इज फ्री फ्रॉम एडवर्स इफेक्ट और साइड इफेक्ट, बट यू हैव टू सी बेनिफिट इज मोर और रिस्क इज मोर. इन केस ऑफ थैलिडोमाइड आप अभी बोल सकते हो इसमें बेनिफिट ज्यादा है या रिस्क ज्यादा है? रिस्क ज्यादा है, क्योंकि फोकोमिलिया बर्थ डिफेक्ट, इट्स अ रिस्क. उसका रिस्क लेवल ज्यादा है. वॉमिटिंग कंट्रोल, वॉमिटिंग करना बेनिफिट, वो बेनिफिट छोटा है. बेनिफिट से यहाँ पे रिस्क ज्यादा है. इसलिए जो है थैलिडोमाइड विथड्रॉन और बैंड एज एन एंटी एमेटिक ड्रग. अभी भी यूज हो रहा है एज एंटी कैंसर मेडिसिन, बट इट इज नॉट यूज्ड एज एन एंटी एमेटिक मेडिकेशन. सो आपको देखना चाहिए हर मेडिसिन में बेनिफिट है क्या, रिस्क कितना है. यही रेगुलेटर और फार्माकोविजिलेंस टीम का काम होता है. सो ये जो है प्रोग्रामेटिक अप्रोच है फार्माकोविजिलेंस. आपने सुना होगा फार्माकोविजिलेंस, मटेरियल विजिलेंस. हमारे पास रीजनल सेंटर है, लाइक एडीआर मॉनिटरिंग सेंटर है. ये सिस्टम ऐसे काम करता है. सो नेशनल लेवल Indian Pharmacopoeia Commission as an authority for both pharmacovigilance and material vigilance under the Ministry of Health, Government of India. Even NIPER and हम लोग एक ही मिनिस्ट्री के अंडर है. आपका रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी अलग है, हमारा रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी अलग है. हम लोग एक ही मिनिस्ट्री के अंडर है, गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया के अंडर काम कर रहे हैं. तो अभी फार्माकोविजिलेंस और मटेरियल विजिलेंस दो प्रोग्राम है, दो स्कीम है लॉन्च्ड बाय द मिनिस्ट्री. दोनों कोऑर्डिनेट करते हैं इंडियन फार्माकोपिया कमीशन. तो हर एक प्रोग्राम क्या नीचे जो है, और हर एवरी प्रोग्राम इज लिंक्ड विथ मॉनिटरिंग सेंटर्स, फार्माकोविजिलेंस मॉनिटरिंग सेंटर, मेडिकल डिवाइस मॉनिटरिंग सेंटर्स. So healthcare professional, doctors working in the various hospitals are connected with the monitoring center. And the industry, pharmaceutical as well as medical device industries, they are responsible for reporting of adverse events to Indian Pharmacopoeia Commission as per the medical device rule or Drugs and Cosmetics Act 1940 and rules 1945 thereunder. So it's a mandatory for the industry to report, but whereas for the healthcare professional, it is voluntary in nature to report the adverse events. So, आप लोग, for your information, this is very, very important initiative. Milestone happened in our country. In the regulatory system is concerned, we have a new medical device rule 2017. You heard about Drugs and Cosmetics Act 1940 and rules 1945 thereunder, where the medicines marketing, sale, export and import are covered under the Drugs and Cosmetics Act. But for medical devices, there was no such provision until 2017. Now 2017 onwards, I mean, it was effective from 1st January 2018. All the medical devices are regulated under the medical device rule 2017. But it is not available in your syllabus. But as a professional, you must aware, you must know about the medical device rule. You should update yourself, because when you go to the industry tomorrow, you may join in pharmaceutical industry. Some of the pharmaceutical industries are also responsible for doing the medical device safety, material vigilance. So there you should have updated knowledge about material vigilance as well. That is why the medical device rule, I brought it here. Now what this rule says, if any medical device needs to be manufactured, you require license. If you want to export any kind of medical device, you require a license under the medical device rule. Under the medical device rule, all IVDs, in vitro diagnostic kits, also covered. Now, what will happen if you introduce this rule? What is the use to the public? What is the benefit to the public? Anybody? पेशेंट्स के लिए क्या बेनिफिट है रूल्स लाने में और रूल लागू करने से पेशेंट को क्या बेनिफिट मिलता है? Effective one, very good. Correct. Quality. Pardon? कौन बोल रहा है? क्या कह रहे हैं? To reduce the risk of contamination, very good. Quality, that is what all quality. So what happened? Very good, you all rightly said, because once you control the quality, once you introduce this rule, all medical devices quality is controlled. Quality, their safety, their performance. Because the disease, any disease you take, set example fever, how you are diagnosing fever, how you are confirming whether it's fever or not, by using thermometer. If a thermometer shows wrong reading, what will happen? So accordingly you take medication. So this is the simple logic. So every medical device should perform properly. That is why the rule has come. All medical devices as well as diagnostic kits needs to be controlled, their quality, safety as well as performance. So according to this rule, how do you classify the medical device? According to the rule, everything is very well defined and classified according to the risk-based classification. As a pharmacist or as a nurse or as a doctor, we should know what kind of devices are being, risk-based classification is being done. Now you see class A, B, C and D. This is the risk-based classification. A means it's a low risk and D means high risk device. That I will tell you what I mean by low risk, what are the examples. But here, fortunately, that today your team, NIPER team has invited the state drug controller also. It shows the importance. Even the state drug controller, deputy drugs controller, their entire team is present today. This is how the success. Because if you look at here, there are two devices, class A and class B. Overall, the licensing part is given by the state licensing authority, that is SLA. SLA means state licensing authority, CLA means central licensing authority. Now we have a provision medical device rule for our own country. And this whole regulation or implementation is jointly done by both central and state licensing authority. So Bihar, you have a state like Bihar State Drug Controller will be responsible for issue of manufacturing license of both class A and class B. And the rest of the activities are managed by the central licensing authority. We have CDSCO in India. Actually, this is the risk-based classification. You can ask me some of the examples. Say, for example, cardiac stents. I think 1 in every 5 patients or 5% in India is administered or placed with the cardiac stents. Similarly, orthopedic implants, knee implant. So all these devices, the devices which are implanted are the devices which are connected with the body tissue are known as high-end medical device. All implantable devices, the devices which are placed in our body, that is high-end device. You can take low risk kind of device, class A and class B. There are some examples. That is what the class A and class B device manufacturing license is issued by the state licensing authority. So now you have to see, as a being a B Farm or M Farm, what are the devices easily you can manage. You cannot go to a ventilator related problem. You cannot solve the ventilator related problem because it's a biomedical engineer department. X-ray machine we may not able to handle because all those things are notified as a medical device. But that is what here the integrated approach or collaborative approach is required with the help of biomedical engineers, clinical engineers, or mechanical engineers, electrical or electronic, because there are some devices are electrical in nature, battery related, electronics, pacemaker. So the message here I would like to convey, the regulatory part of medical devices is managed by the pharmacist because it's a regulatory science. But whereas the production stage or development stage related issues requires collaboration or approach with some other healthcare professionals actually. And this is the current, statistics. The total registered marketing authorization holders, that is MAH on medical devices on our own portal. Because before introducing the rule, there were only few companies registered in our own India specific companies, medical device companies were there. But you can see today there are around 16,000 plus manufacturers of medical devices in India. 16,000 plus manufacturers. In that, medical devices alone, 12,000, and the IVD, in vitro diagnostic kits related manufacturers around 12,000. Sorry, 14,000 and 2,000 plus IVD manufacturers. So this is after introducing the medical devices rule. You can see the volume of companies are coming up, and I am sure a lot of job opportunities, not only job, even you can become an entrepreneur in this area. A job provider or job seeker. Both options are available with related to medical devices. Because we have rule, regulation. Now India's export also increasing after this rule. You can see the potential of value in USD. Medical device export from India. It is increasing like anything. That all because of the rule, regulation, startup, and many other government policy, etc. So India is going to be one of the lead country in medical device exporter. Earlier, 100% medical devices were imported. But today, around 70% of the medical device only we are importing because the import dependency has come down, and it will come down. Similarly, like pharmacovigilance, what are the practice you have? Not only reporting of an adverse event is not a part of material vigilance. You require assessment. I told you what in by assessment. Whether it really the medicine or medical device causing the adverse event, or the patient clinical condition, or any other reason. This is what the assessment. But when it comes to the device, medical device, the assessment is slightly different from drugs. Because here we have quality related issues, medical device performance, calibration, right? Calibration of medical device, because some of the devices used in the diagnostic lab, it requires calibration. That is performance, efficiency. All needs to be counted in case of assessment. Sterilization, particularly implant. If the product is not sterile, it may cause infection. Or you take example, orthopedic implants. Generally, orthopedic implants or knee implant, bone implants, these implants are developed by using cadmium, chromium, nickel, etc. Cobalt. If cadmium and chromium is not up to the ISO standard or Bureau of Indian standards, it may tend to break. So there may be a chance of breakage of implants. So there you require the quality. So this is what the assessment, all assessment you have to do, then only we can understand and we can prevent such adverse events. So this is a scenario in medical device. So medical device adverse event reporting is very complexity, and it's a challenging in nature because you need to understand the type of device. the quality of material used. Sometimes design also causing adverse events. Model of medical device. Now the X-ray machine, MRI scan and all, you have keep on, they are changing the model. Updated versions are available. So there the challenge is different. So this is just, comparative these things. You can imagine how the adverse event or how we can able to differentiate medical device, IVD and drugs. There are huge difference between these three things. Being a pharmacovigilance team, those who are working in the industry, they are responsible to manage all adverse events related to medicine or IVD or drugs. But basically, the basic difference you need to understand how it is being differentiated, right? Particularly IVD. Now you can ask me what kind of adverse events can be expected from IVD, in vitro diagnostics, thermometer or glucometer. Again, those devices also needs to be monitored and reported. Say for example, false negative or false positive results. A medical, IVD or equipment can give you a wrong result, false positive or false negative. That is being associated with IVDs. Right? So this is the basic difference or classification when you compare the adverse events with medical device, or diagnostic, or even drugs. Generally, drugs are having API, that is active pharmaceutical ingredient, only one molecule. So easily you can able to correlate or easily you can able to detect the adverse events because there is no other associating factors. But when you look at the medical device or IVD, there are so many other factors which you have to calculate and consider while reporting the adverse events. Same, this is also comparison. Generally, I told you the half-life of a medicine or a medical product needs to be counted while doing the assessment. So these are the expected adverse event I told you in case of IVD, like false negative and false positive results. Particularly the pregnancy test kit. Recently, we come across so many adverse events related to pregnancy test kit because of quality related issues. False negative or false positive. Sometimes a control line disappears or control line vanished. So these are the expected anticipated adverse events with the use of pregnancy test kit. So there, the quality or sensitivity also needs to be taken into account while analyzing the adverse events. So these all are general information about IPC. We as a WHO collaborating center, we also support other countries to come up or to build a own pharmacovigilance system. So the Indian Pharmacopoeia Commission has been recognized by the World Health Organization as a collaborating center for pharmacovigilance. So we provide training and support to WHO member states in terms of establishing the regional pharmacovigilance center, national pharmacovigilance center, signal detection process, and other capacity areas. So we got this designation in the year 2017, and the redesignation we got it in 2021. So we have this responsibility also, and it is again a proud moment for the country, our IPC, to be a WHO collaborating center. There are Southeast Asia, you might be heard about the Southeast Asia Regulator Network, that is SIAN. SIAN means Southeast Asia Regulators Network. Under this network, there are 11 countries, including India. India is playing a lead role in providing training and establishing a pharmacovigilance system and material vigilance to this WHO member states. Under the CR network, there are different groups, working group 1, 2, 3, 4, like quality, safety, regulatory, compliance, etc. So under the working group 3, pharmacovigilance is the main activity to do it. So we used to conduct a training program for the member states to establish a pharmacovigilance system and to also to identify signal. Say for example, if any safety alert or signal identified from our Indian database or Indian data we have to share with them whether the similar cases have been reported. Say, for example, recently, ethambutol related ocular toxicity was reported, was emerged as one of the major concern. So immediately, as a WHO collaborating center, we are also sensitizing them. Please look into your database whether anything related to ocular disorder related to ethambutol and to take up necessary action. And also another example, like I think this is the right forum to share. Drug abuse, pregabalin related drug abuse. I'm sure pregabalin is presently it is being prescribed as a neurological, as a neuroprotectant or neuro drug. But the drug is reported as a abuse, drug dependence. There are number of reports are available. Of course, it's the gravity of information as well as the incident is less as compared to other drug abuse substance or drugs, but it is having the potential, it is having the property of drug abuse or drug dependence. So we have to be very careful, and it becomes a public issue. So we have to alert the people, alert the community, and what kind of preventive action needs to be taken. If it is required, this drug needs to be changed from the category H or whatever in the present scenario to Schedule X drugs. If we have sufficient evidence, it needs to be shifted or it needs to be categorized under the Schedule X drug, where, what is X? Schedule X. Schedule X, have you heard about Schedule X? Yeah, narcotic and psychotropic substances, that means drug abuse or dependence is high. Similarly, we have to think the pregabalin related, pregabalin, tapentadol, these are the drugs are currently causing the problem or drug abuse. So we, as a pharmacovigilance team, we have to be alert. Even in your region, in your family also, someone might be taking pregabalin, and we have to watch. So this has become a social problem, and now IPC is supporting other members also to come up and to come forward for discussing such issues and to take a unanimous decision actually. When it comes to the medical device adverse events management, for pharmacovigilance, the causality assessment, then to take a final decision. But when it comes to the medical device, the causality assessment is difficult because it varies device to device. I told you, if a orthopedic related medical device adverse event, then you need to look at the quality of metals used in the implant. Similarly, if it is an ocular related adverse event, you have to look at the product sterility and other areas. So the complexity is here. Causality is a major challenge for medical devices, and availability of information, whether the reporter provided complete information or not, to take a decision or to analyze the event. Long-term monitoring is required because this adverse event may not happen in one day. Orthopedic implants are implanted in patient's body for years together. Knee implants are available 10 years also. So during the 10 years, how safe it is? Even cardiac stents. Stents are available for a longer period. So you have to follow the patients continuously. It cannot happen in one day. If a paracetamol you took, immediately you reported as an vomiting. But in medical devices, it is not possible. The patient should be followed continuously as long as the device is available within the body. So this is the major challenge. And of course, under-reporting is common for whether drug or device. People should aware of reporting, what to report, where to report. So that is the reason we all celebrate a week-long, pharmacovigilance week to convey the message to the public. Basically, it is for the patients, for the patients. So at the end, I would like to conclude that being a pharmacist, I'm sure the audience might be pharmacy only. If it is other profession, doesn't matter. As a role of healthcare professionals, either in pharmacovigilance or material vigilance, your role not only as a service provider, you can also become an entrepreneur in this area. As I told you, many evidences. We have a regulation, many medical device industries are coming up. Medical device testing labs are yet to come to test the performance of a device. So you can become an entrepreneur also. So at the end, I would like to conclude, you as a healthcare provider, not only a service provider, you can also become an entrepreneur in this area. So thank you very much. And once again, um, I I sincerely acknowledge the
Thank you.
invitation as well as the recognition given to me today to be a part of this event. So once again, I'm thankful to director and the entire team of Naipar Hajipur. Of course, I'm thankful to all of you for listening my session carefully as well as sincerely. Thank you for your cooperation and wish you all the best. If you have any questions or suggestions, most welcome.
Any questions?
Comments, questions, anything.
Sir, excellent speech, sir, but I missed majority of it. But if you don't mind, I have two questions, sir. You just mentioned that ethambutol is showing that ocular toxicity. Sir, it was, I think the drug was approved long back, and why wasn't that adverse event noticed then, and why has it come just now only?
Yeah, actually, ethambutol is a very old drug. Even literature also it is there, but there is no, severity. Simply, it may cause some eye disorders, but the blindness is reported in the current years. Recently, it may be they have increased the duration or dose. They have increased the dose actually. That might be the reason.
Maybe to deal with the resistance, they have increased the dose, and this side effect has come up.
Yeah, that
Okay.
that is dose. Because of dose only. Recently, they have increased the dose in the program, TB program. They have increased the dose, and recently it is being reported not only in India, it is available in other countries as well. Other countries database also, this report is available. This may be the reason. That's why there is a need of regular periodic eye examination during the treatment. It is the only recommendation from pharmacovigilance or IPC side. We are not recommending anything beyond that. We recommend only regular eye examination is must during the treatment.
Terbutaline is a very widely used bronchodilator.
Which one?
Terbutaline.
Terbutaline.
Terbutaline. And it is associated with a side effect that is palpitation. We can feel it. I think it's a severe palpitation only. So why is it approved in India? I mean, why is it available over the counter in India, whereas it's not available in other countries, OTC?
It is an OTC. So then that is the beauty. That is the purpose of pharmacovigilance. Have you reported these events? Then where is the evidence for us? Palpitation, terbutaline. If you have reported, if you have evidence, we have an opportunity to recommend the regulator CDSO to change the category. At least they can.
It might be Schedule H drug only, but
I am not sure whether it is OTC or H
Schedule H
drug.
drug only, sir. But it's available.
It might be Schedule H. That's what I'm saying. It may not be the OTC, but the palpitation related terbutaline, if it, you should report to PVPA. That is what that is what reporting should be there. So then that definitely it will be taken care. It will be evaluated because every ICSS are screened and analyzed. Whether it is known, it is already there in the package insert. Already if it is there, written in the package insert, then it only is the enforcement. If something new which is not given in the literature, first time it is coming, then we have to capture as a signal and we have to recommend the manufacturer or CDSO to put it in the package information leaflet. If palpitation related to terbutaline is confirmed, then we need to recommend as a signal.
think for this particular drug, I remember this. It was introduced in Indian market by Astra Ideal by name, I think Bricanil. Bricanil injection. I used to, I know the literature what they used to insert. There it was very clearly mentioned regarding these, adverse effects. So palpitation was one among them. One important.
Thank you, sir.
As Dr. Kalai Selvan mentioned, the terbutaline, definitely it's a Schedule H drug. It is a classified drug with that prescription of that the medical officer only. It is
Yes,
prescribed, utilized. Otherwise, it is not allowed that with serious monitoring of the patient. Also, it's a very important component.
yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Madam, you have some questions?
Yes, I really liked your presentation very much. It was very much to the point. In the last, I like that last statement wherein you stated that they are not pharmacists, are not only service providers, but they can be
Entrepreneur.
entrepreneurs. They can be better entrepreneurs. Why? I'll tell you. Because those who actually are sponsors for the pharma company, they're not aware of the testing of the raw materials. This is one of the critical observation of US FDA, not only in India. Across the world, the number of US FDA approved plants, many of them, they can't have a full raw material testing, like the recent Gambia case, and all these cases were in DEG, diethylene glycol. That is
Yeah.
an impurity from propylene
So,
glycol.
ma'am,
Yes,
you are talking about testing of drugs. That is the still that is the
because
it to
of
be
which
improved.
various side effects and
Yeah,
adverse effects have
but
happened.
here the entrepreneur in the medical devices testing laboratory, because if you look at the CDSO, very limited number of laboratories or notified institutions are available in the CDSO website. There is a huge demand in testing of medical device. If you take one example, ocular implants, cataract, cataract related device, glaucoma device, and other ocular devices. Only 2 labs are notified by the CDSU. You look at the volume of ocular devices used in the country and the labs. So that is the reason you have a lot of opportunity for an entrepreneurship in many medical devices. Huge demand in the manufacturing also, and as well as testing also.
Yes, that's the need of.
So here the testing is not beyond your knowledge. You guys as a pharmacist, we studied about the sterilization, because ophthalmic device means what are the test parameters? Sterility, sterilization, and biocompatibility. These 3 are the major requirement for testing of ocular implants. So you have to develop your knowledge in this domain, and certainly you have a lot of scope in this area. Testing also. Manufacturing is though already you have a lot of opportunity, but beyond manufacturing, testing we do not have at present. We do not have sufficient laboratories or experts or knowledge. When we talk about experts, it is our domain. I am not saying you become an entrepreneur in the MRI machine or CT scan, because they are biomedical engineers, they can dominate. But these are the device where you can dominate. Pharmacists can dominate, where sterility, biocompatibility, cytotoxicity. So these are the common tests applicable to many medical device. So you identify those device and you can become a chance of entrepreneur. That is the purpose of adding, that slide.
Sir, and like we have the pharmacopoeia for wherein we have general chapters, monographs for each raw material and the finished product. For these material devices, we rarely have any standard quality control tests.
No, ma'am, we have a standards for medical devices, because that is the lack of awareness among us. We have Bureau of Indian Standards for medical devices. I think Bureau of Indian Standards covered 80% of the device approved in our country. BIS standards. There is separate organization for medical device. Then plus Indian Pharmacopoeia Commission also developed some standards for the medical devices, which comes under, say for example, cotton, suture, ligatures, adhesive tabs, blood collection components. So there we have standards. So the standards are available. Related to medical devices standards, I request you can follow either Bureau of Indian Standards or ISO standards or Indian Pharmacopoeia standards. It is available.
Okay, so these are the standards which,
Yeah.
they are the general standards.
Yes,
Which is
they are the approved standard as per the rule as per the medical device rule.
Okay. So now for drugs, when we have a reference. For example, if any generic product, it needs to be compared to the Orange Book standard. That means RLD, reference listed drug. For this materials, I mean, all devices, like for example, if an insulin pump has been approved by US FDA in 2017. So if in India, if you approve it, do you keep that as a standard? Like some tests which need to be compared with that standard, gold standard.
That is what, if the standards are not available in these three authorities, then you can follow the in-house standards.
Okay, yeah, that's what. Okay, thank you.
Anything from students?
Any questions?
I think I expect some questions from the students as well. I think faculty members.
Students from different colleges, if you have any question, you can ask.
Yeah, good afternoon, sir. Actually, sir, we have a material vigilance AMC center here. Every month we are getting the data. So, like pharmacovigilance, we are doing the causality assessment. But for this material vigilance, just we are keeping the record just as a proof. But is there any method so far developed for causality assessment for?
So that is what we follow generally, general causality assessment scale. But now there is a time has come to develop the causality assessment for device to device. The common scale we are following now. Now that is what in some devices you require the laboratory data also. So the product
right now we do not have such method.
No, we do not have. And this is another area where the students and researchers can devote your skills to develop some causality assessment scale for device to device. Causality assessment scale for ophthalmic, cardiac stents. So that is the need of the hour actually.
Okay, sir, we'll try that. Thank you, sir.
Students, any further questions? I don't think so.
If no questions,
sir.
then again, I personally, thank respected Professor Ravichandran sir for your valuable time, and thank you very much, sir, for being with us today. Your hectic schedule, you have devoted a lot of time for the benefit of students as well as for all of us. So I thank you very much, and thanks for this opportunity to be with you all today. Thank you very much to one and all.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Kalai, for your presence and the wonderful talk.
Thank you, sir. Now we will have a break, lunch break, and after 1 hour, that is 1:30 around, we will join here. Before that, I have two announcements. The representative of the different colleges who have arrived here, please register in the registration desk. And those who are willing to participate in the quiz competition, which will be held at 3 a.m., 3 will be from each college you have arrived from. So Bihar College of Pharmacy, Gopal Narayan Institute, MGM Institute, CRP, Krishna Institute of Nursing and Pharmacomedical Sciences, Paramedical Sciences, sorry. You can register yourself. Okay, so each group will be like having 3, and we will have cash prizes for those who are winning today. Thank you. Students may proceed in the mess for their lunch. Bihar College of Pharmacy can form 2 groups. You have many participants if you want.
Hello.